Okay, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos where I actually get to like sit down and talk to you. And there's a couple reasons for that, but one of the main reasons is that I don't think I do anything in a normal day that is particularly interesting. However, today there were a couple different reasons that I wanted to make a video like this. One, a couple of interesting things have happened since the last time I talked with y'all, but we'll get more into that later on. Number two is that I thought it would be kind of an interesting challenge for myself to do things that weren't really cool and fun and like make them seem as interesting as I could. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you'll understand once the video gets on its way. So for right now, I'm gonna go and actually go on to campus and check out some of my classes that I have to take for the semester before the first day of school, so I don't end up looking completely lost on that day. So, come on. Should I bring the penny board? I usually bring it during the semester, but yeah, I still got a long way to walk. I think I'm gonna bring the board. Okay, I went to the library because they're supposed to be building something here and they were posting all about it on their Twitter and stuff, but I can't find it. Is it weird that I'm wearing a tank top? I didn't want to wear one, but like, it's so hot. I figured it was better to just wear this than just be dying the whole time. I guess we'll actually get to start finding my classes now. So that was my first class, but I don't think we're gonna have any luck getting into there, so... You know, for the past 2 semesters, I've gone to look at my classes, and this is the first time that any of the doors have been locked. Okay, so that did not go how I thought it was gonna go in my head. Usually they have all the doors unlocked and I'm able to go inside and like see what the class actually looks like, but that didn't happen right now. At least I know where those 3 classes are, and they kind of look like they're really small rooms. I have 2 more classes and they're in a different building, so hopefully those aren't unlocked and I can kind of go inside those. Is this even interesting so far? I don't know, this might not... This is why I don't do videos like this, because they just aren't, they don't work out. This is what I'm talking about. I actually had a class in here last semester, and it was like anthropology, and although I didn't really agree with a lot of the things the professor said, it was kind of interesting. So the lights are off, but this is my last class. Oh. Just kidding, they turned off. So, funny story about this room, it's room number 308, but when I read it on my phone, I thought it was 318. And I was looking around for it, and then I met this guy, and he was like, "Oh, are you looking for a room? I can help you." So we walked around for a good while trying to find 318, which doesn't exist. And then I looked at my phone, I saw it again, and I was like, "Oh, it's 308, but I didn't want to tell him because I was kind of embarrassed. So I was like, "You know what, it's okay, I got it, you're good, it's fine." And he walked away, and as soon as he turned the corner, I like went into the room hoping that he didn't. Here we are. So I'll get back to you later in the day, probably when we're at home, okay? Okay, put on a new tank top, did you notice? Crazy, right? So I guess it's time to talk about the things that I had told you that I wanted to talk to you about earlier. But before we do that, I recently finished one of Jasmine and I's little books. If you don't know what those are, you can watch the video here, or here, I'm pretty sure it's here. So I'm gonna go drop that off in the mailbox, and then when we get back, I'll tell you everything that I had wanted to tell you. Huh. Okay, so I just got this in the mail and I actually already know what it is, but I'm glad it came today because it actually has everything to do with the stuff that I had wanted to tell you. So about a week ago, I made this movie about the pen that I liked. It was actually this pen right here, the Fisher Space Pen, and it's one of my favorite pens and I use it all the time and I always have one with me, and I just decided to make a movie about it, and I actually tweeted at Fisher Space Pen, like the company, after I had made the movie, and I was just like, hey, just decided to share your story because I liked it so much, hope you like it, you know, something like that. And within a couple minutes they actually retweeted it and tweeted back at me, and they were like, we love it, thank you. And I was like, whoa, you know, that's crazy. Just because it's like the first time that I've ever gotten recognized by a company. And I thought that was huge for me. And the next day, they had followed me on Twitter and Instagram, and they gave me a shout out on their Instagram page. And that was, again, I couldn't believe it. And then the next day after that, I got a new follower on Twitter, and I decided to look at his profile and see who he was. It was a gentleman named Gabriel Reyes, and he had tweeted something. I'll put it. This is what he tweeted, and I replied to him, and I was like, hey, I'm glad you liked it, you know. And I thought that was going to be the end of it, but he actually messaged me back. He private messaged me and said, hey, I work for Fisher Space Pen. I'm part of their marketing team, you know, and we would like to send you a couple products for you using your videos. And I was like, yeah, sure. I have like 100 subscribers. Oh, and did I forget to mention, since the last time we spoke, I passed 100 subscribers, and I thought that was kind of cool. One thing that I thought was crazy is it took me so long to get to 100 subscribers, and now I haven't even posted anything since I reached that number, and I'm already like at 120 or something. Ooh. Here are the two pens that I got sent. This one is one of the smaller ones. I think it's the Backpacker. This one, if I'm right, is the one that the actual astronauts take into space, which is pretty cool. I would just like to give a huge thanks to the people at Fisher and Mr. Gabriel Reyes for actually noticing the things I've done and believing in what I've created. And you know, I'm thinking that for some of you watching this might be like the first video that you've seen, because I'm pretty sure my channel has grown like 20% or something. So hi, if this is your first video, they're usually better, I would like to think, and we'll see you guys around. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you in a video soon. Bye.